Hi guys, welcome back to Mommy Tips by Cole. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time. I was actually inspired by a video that I saw by Manami Angelina, and if you guys haven't already been subbed to her or checked out her channel, I will put her link right here. But there was something that she mentioned in one of her videos about starting your kids early. After I watched her video, it just intrigued a lot of thoughts and ideas of ways that I could share with you guys on how to start your kids early with everything overall, really. I know that there are more technical terms and ways, or maybe psychological terms that I know that I've probably learned in my child psychology course when I was in college, but these are just some simple ways and ideas that you can incorporate these things into your daily routine with your kids. So first off, in regards to responsibility and helpfulness, there's so many ways that you can get your kids to be responsible and be helpful in the house. I know with my firstborn, ever since, it's just so clear in my mind, ever since she was really little or could start walking, she always wanted to help throw things in the trash. Like if you had like a napkin, she would just instinctively like pick something up off the ground and then just go to the trash can and throw it out. And it's so funny because now that I have my third child, Dylan, ever since he could start walking, he's been doing that too, just like picking up just random things that he sees on the floor. Like he might see like a piece of a cookie that just fell out of his mouth, and he'll pick it up and he'll just instinctively too go to throw it out into the trash. Aside from that, even cleaning up their toys or any messes that they have, just putting things away, or even all my kids had a slight obsession with sweeping. Every time they would see me sweeping with the broom, they always wanted to grab the broom, and I ended up buying like a kid's broom for my girls a while back. And even now, Dylan, he has this crazy obsession with always wanting to sweep. And of course, when they first show the interest in these things, it's really cute and so fun to watch. But really, it's such a great thing for them to learn early on, because even now that my eldest is 4 years old, she loves to help me fold laundry, or she loves to help, you know, clean. She loves to help put things away. Even when my second was born, my eldest Emlyn loved to help me with getting a diaper, or giving me a toy for her, or a bottle or a spoon, or anything that can help. For myself, my kids show the interest in this, so I've found that it's been such a helpful thing for me, finding ways to make it part of our daily routine. And you know, being that my eldest is 4 years old now, she does so many of the things and then some that she was showing interest on when she was a little baby. And of course, I was just thinking about this the other day when I was doing the laundry and Emlyn was helping me. I just had a flash forward, just thinking to when she's older, maybe like in college or something. I was just thinking, wow, if she's 4 years old and she's folding her laundry like so perfectly, I think for her age, she's gonna be doing this for the rest of her life this way. It's like already gonna be instilled inside of her to do all of these things that she's already willing to do. So, you know, I think that's just such a plus about, you know, teaching them responsibility and helpfulness when they're at a young age. So I'm sorry that this is kind of all over the place. I tried to break it down into categories on my phone, but I thought it would be so much more personal for me to give you specific examples of what my kids are doing or what they've done since they were really little. So moving on to another topic of starting your kids early would be independence, teaching them to be independent. So when it comes to feeding or drinking or brushing their teeth or dressing themselves, or what else did I have here? Brushing their hair. All my kids have showed interest very early on with like Dylan now. He's just learning and wanting to feed himself, even though he's making a mess all over the place, or even he sees his sisters brush his teeth. He doesn't want me to brush his teeth, so what I'll do, I'll let him have a go at it first, and then he kind of like bites on the bristles and, you know, just plays around with it. But you know, he loves seeing that his sisters are doing it, so I guess it intrigues his you know, the idea that he wants to do it himself too. So then of course, then afterwards I will, you know, finish the rest of it off for him and do it properly. And then also dressing themselves. I know my kids wanted early on to learn to put on their socks or put on their shirts. Dylan is already, he's only 14 months and he already can take off his shirt, and he tries to put it on. So whatever it is, even brushing hair, like I said, even Dylan, he's only 14 months and he wants to brush his hair when he gets out of the shower. I guess because he sees his older sibling. And of course now my two eldest are very independent. You know, they dress themselves. They like to wash their hands. Of course I assist them with the sink. They brush their teeth. They brush their hair. They feed themselves. Another thing I think that's important with teaching them independence early on is that if you do have, after you have your first, and if you do have, you know, more kids after that, you know, that's helped me a lot. Like when I had my second, Evelyn was only almost 18 months old. So it really helped me a lot that she was able to feed herself. Like I would give her a bowl of, let's say pasta for instance, or, you know, just some fruits or whatever it is, and she'd be able to feed herself, and then I could, you know, attend to the baby. And then when I had my third, my two oldest were, you know, doing a lot of these things independently, and I could, you know, just give them their breakfast and they would feed themselves, and I would just keep my eye on them. So like teaching them all these things to be independent early on is definitely a plus if you have multiple children, especially if they're close in age like myself. And also making choices. I think it's important to you know, give your children the ability to make choices early on, you know, whether it's, you know, about picking a book or picking their pajamas, or what did I have written here, or picking what shoes they want to wear, or what movie they want to watch for a movie night. Having them, you know, start at an early age as far as making choices for small things such as the ones that I mentioned, you know, also ties in with independence. So for instance, every time with my daughters, before we take a bath, they'll always go prepare their sleeping clothes. Like they'll go to the drawer and they'll pick out each pajamas that they want to wear for the night. They'll go to the closet and pick out their underwear that they want to wear, and then they'll go lay out their everything that we need to put on them after the shower. They'll go lay out and put out the lotion, they'll put out the hair detangler, the brush. And then later on, when it's time to blow dry their hair, they go to a little basket that I have and they give me the blow dryer and I plug it in and I blow dry their hair. So all of those things, it's just, I love watching them. I love the idea that they do these things for themselves at such a young age. Like I said, my daughter is 4, my eldest daughter is 4, my middle daughter is 2, and my son, he's 14 months, going on 15 months. So that's just one example of one of the things that my eldest do as far as being independent and making choices for themselves. I mean, I don't know if this is something that everybody does with their kids, but this is something that I do, and I know that I love this about them, that they can do these things for themselves. And also I used to do this with my stepdaughter too. She's 14 now, and she grew up with the habits of you know, like preparing her clothes out for school, and, you know, even packing up her lunch, and just like things like that, or the routine of like coming home and always doing her homework. So I haven't hit all of these school routine stuff yet with my little ones, but, you know, I experienced this with my stepdaughter. So, you know, for when they get older, you know, I have already gone through some of these things with my stepdaughter, and I've seen that it has helped her tremendously as a young teen now. Okay, so the next few things I'm going to mention are just some tips aside from the traditional way of learning things, maybe through whatever books or whatever technical or electronic devices that, you know, teach kids early on, or flashcards or whatnot. So when it comes to learning counting or ABCs or animals and the sounds that they make, I love, and I have done this for all of them, I love to practice these things when we do daily things every day. For instance, when we're going up the stairs, well, with all of them, since they were really little, and I'm doing this now with my youngest, my son, we like to count the stairs, and that's how they've all learned to count. And now, so far, he can count up to 3. I think we'll start 1, and he goes 2, 3, like stuff like that. So that's how they've all learned to pretty much count, is like going up and down the stairs. And every time while we take a bath or dry hair, or even when I change my son's diaper, you know, sometimes he squirms around and moves around, or sometimes my middle daughter, she hates when I brush her hair. Even when I put the detangler, like, she'll cry, and to distract them, but also to, you know, practice these things, the daily things that I want them to learn. We'll like sing ABCs or count, or we'll do, this is what they love to do. I guess we make a game of it. We make it really fun. So, like, for instance, when I'm changing my son's diaper, I'll say, okay, what sound does the doggy make? And we'll go ruff ruff. Or the lion, he likes to go rrr, or a dinosaur rrr. He loves to do that. So that's how pretty much all of my kids learn, you know, like sounds, or like, what sound does the froggy make? And they go ribbit. So now that they all pretty much join in. They know that I'm doing it to teach Dylan, but aww, my 2 older ones love to join in and do it together, and it's just a fun way to incorporate it into your daily routine. Also, Emmeline learned to write her name at about 3 years old, and she learned this really with my father, her grandfather. He would sit down with her. She loved to go onto the computer. That's how she learned to use the computer. She would always love to sit with him on his computer, and they would listen to music. And then she started showing interest in the keyboard, so then he started showing her, you know, how to type her name first into on the keyboard. She would just get curious about what the password was to get into the computer, so he would teach her, you know, how to type what the password was to get onto the computer. And then eventually that led to her interest in typing her name, and then eventually that led to writing. I don't know, I guess it's maybe usually it would be the other way around, but this is just how that it worked out for her to learn to write her name. And then she started with her first name, and I got so shocked one day, like a long time ago, maybe she wasn't even 3 yet. We were like in a store, and she saw like a book or a bag that had her initials, and she was like, "Mommy, look, that bag has an E like my name, like starts with Emmeline, and this has M like Malia." I was so shocked, and I was so proud of her. But eventually she learned to write her name. So this is Emmeline. She drew this the other day, just recently, and she's improved quite a bit. But yeah, I'm just so proud of her that she can write her name, and she's trying to learn how to write, you know, other words or just letters overall. I mean, on the side, you know, I still continue, you know, other like workbooks and puzzles, and just like, you know, other kinds of tools and ways for her to learn overall. And then Malia's just showing some interest. You know, I never like push anything onto them. If they show interest in it, you know, I just, you know, keep at it and be consistent with things. Oh, there's the clock again. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just been wanting to share these things with you for quite some time. I know it was a little all over the place, but I thought it would, like I said, I thought it would be more personal for me to give some specific examples of ways that we incorporate this into our daily routine or daily lives, and that ways that it has successfully helped all of my kids, including my stepdaughter. So thanks for watching, and if you guys have other suggestions or ways that you incorporate, you know, things like the stuff that I mentioned into your daily routines, or other ways that have, or suggestions that have helped your kids, please comment down below and let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!